wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got some special guests in the building.
Oh, guys.
We have Arce and Barak here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Gentlemen. We also have Lamont Roach Jr., who is fighting Tank this week, and he'll be joining us in a second. But we want
Jess is rooting for Lamont Roach.
Really? I am not. You don't say that. We know who I'm obviously rooting for, Gervonta Davis, but you know.
But we wanted to speak to you guys, you brothers, first, because you got some big news. You got a new show coming out.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes,
So,
sir.
let's break down the show, what the show's going to be talking about and everything.
It premiered a couple weeks ago with our first guest being Jake Paul,
Nice.
which it was an in-depth conversation. You know, obviously, either you love him, you hate him in the sport. You know, I know Charlotte feels a certain way about him in the sport, but he's very impactful. And that was a great combo. But it's going to be a weekly show on All the Smoke. I know you guys are familiar with Mack, those are your guys.
Absolutely.
And this is a division from All the Smoke fight. So it's called Ring Champs with Arce and Barak. It's been a long time coming. You know, people know us for being on DAZN and hosting the DAZN boxing show. But we partnered up with All the Smoke, and we have ownership of the IP. And we're excited. It's been a long time coming, so it's a great home. Perfect fit for us.
Congrats.
I respect what Jake Paul has done in the sport. I just want him to start fighting real boxers.
I mean, he already fought a couple of real boxers.
Tyson Fury's brother.
Even before that, though, see, he fought two guys that nobody even heard of. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. When you fight those guys, nobody's looking for that. So if you come from the YouTube world, you already making $20, $30 million a year. You ain't gonna fight Joe Schmo because you ain't making no money. So he has to look for these guys in between fighting real fighters. He has to look for guys that's gonna make him another $20 million.
It wasn't a Canelo fight on the cards, and then something happened.
According to Jake, the fight was signed. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but there was conversation about it being announced. And then, you know, some of you may know Turki Al-Sheikh, His Excellency from Saudi, has taken over the sport for the most part.
So what is he doing to the sport? Because we keep hearing that.
Hold on, I want to hear about the Canelo-Jake fight first.
So there were rumors that they were going to fight in May, and Canelo was going to fight Bud Terrence Crawford in September. But Turki Al-Sheikh supposedly offered Canelo a 4-fight deal where it was too much money to refuse, right? And it's, you know, but Jake had to be out of the equation, so to speak. So that's what Jake put out there. But we do know that Canelo does have a 4-fight with Turki Al-Sheikh, and Bud will be the fight in September.
Yeah, Jake must have planned to retire after the Canelo fight. That must have been his last hurrah of his boxing career. There's no way.
100 million probably. Easy, 100 million.
We'd have made a lot of money, for sure.
Now, talk about the Sheik that you've been talking about. They say he's been spending a lot of money in boxing, and is he making it back, and why? And is it helping the sport, hurting the sport?
I mean, it's 100% helping the sport.
Absolutely.
I mean, for you fight fan, anybody that's a hardcore fight fan, this past weekend, February 22nd, it was probably the best card in history in terms of championship back-to-back entertaining fights. Right. Maybe not for the casuals, because first off, it started at like 12 in the morning on Saturday.
Yeah.
But yes, he's putting a lot of money into the sport. Is he getting it back right now? I'm not sure, probably not. But he's creating the fights that everybody wants to see. So for a fight fan, I mean, Charlotte's a hardcore fight fan. That's a fighter's fight. I mean, that's what we want because these fighters want to get paid a certain amount. That's why the fights don't happen, because the money's not there. Money's not an issue with it.
That's always been the issue, though, because we said we want to see the best fights. Remember we was waiting for Terrence Crawford to fight Spence for a couple of years because the money wasn't right now. So if somebody come with a whole bag of money, an endless bag of money, then you good for the sport. That's the kind of guy that could get Tank to fight Shakur Stevenson or somebody like that, you know?
And
so of course
also
he's good.
Why they ain't paid y'all $1 million just to go over there and
Who
do
said
what
they
y'all
didn't,
do?
though?
Because I'm like the zone doing all of this in Saudi Arabia. I'm like, where my guys at?
Nah, you're right, though. You're right. We need that.
We
need
in
that.
talks with Turk because we need to be a part of that. But yeah, another thing that's great for the sport is ring champs, you know, because All the Smoke, right, what they've assembled is like an all-star team. We got Andre Ward, Roy Jones, Hall of Famers, the big HBO analysts for years. You know, Matt and Stack, you know what they do. Morning Combat, Luke Thomas and Brian Campbell. So, and then us, like bringing that young energy to the sport. And we're going to be at every huge fight covering, you know, with live content and our weekly show, sitting down with the biggest names of the sport. And that's what the sport needs.
You know what I think? It says, even since our days on This Is 50.com with 50 Cent, it's like we brought that different culture to boxing. There was nobody mainstream like us, urban, you know what I mean? So it's like, it just made sense for us to transition to All the Smoke that already has that finger on the pulse in that culture, you know what I mean? So we bringing that to boxing.
And also Showtime. You know, Brian Daly was an exec at Showtime for years, and he was a mind behind a lot of the great content that Showtime put out. So it's just a perfect home for us.
I wonder if not having that cable network like a HBO or a Showtime doing boxing, I wonder if that's hurting it because casuals aren't necessarily tuning in. Like, and I think you need. Can you be successful without the casuals?
Yeah, you know what? First of all, nowadays, no, you can't. Absolutely cannot. But think about this: people steal cable nowadays anyway. Most people stealing cable. So in reality, I think DAZN is taking over boxing. You know, the network that we started with, but people don't even know they watching DAZN when you stealing cable. Yeah. When you watching these pay-per-views, you don't know what channel. It's on your box, it's on your TV, but you don't really know sometimes what network it is because you stealing it, you pirating it. You know what I mean? So to answer your question, no, we can't live without them, but I think it could still thrive.
But that's what's hurting the sport: pirating, like not wanting to pay for the pay-per-view. Like get a couple of friends together and chip in for the pay-per-view. You stealing from the fighters, you stealing from us. It's terrible.
But it's so easy now. You always hear about people in their fire sticks. You always hear about online. You can go to stream, whatever.
Bunch of links.
But
who got the illegal fire stick in here? Raise your hand.
The illegal one?
Yeah. See what I'm saying?
I have.
It's one out of every five.
Absolutely.
20%.
Jess, are you paying for fights?
No.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But you'll watch them. You're going to watch Javante Davis.
I'm watching it. Yes, I'm
fight
in Mexico.
Lamont,
I'm
Roach.
still going to watch it.
Oh, no doubt. That's dope.
So, yes.
That's dope.
No, I mean, he's done amazing things for the sport, Turkey. So we're excited about this year.
Now, the fight this weekend, right? It's at the Barclays. Before we get to the fight, do you think fights happen better when they're in New York, or is it better when they're in Vegas, better when they're in different areas? I just feel like you don't get the feeling
of Vegas.
Vegas.
I mean, Vegas benefits from it, you know, from all the people that are in town gambling, spending money, partying. But as far as the fight fan experience in the arena, it doesn't really matter where you are.
Okay.
If the two fighters that you want to see fight are fighting each other, the energy is, I mean, you've been in a lot of fights. Like, It doesn't matter where you are. If the fight is good, it's a
I don't
good
agree.
fight.
Does it sell more in Vegas?
Of course.
Of
Vegas.
course.
I mean, but it depends where you. It gotta be.
I'm hearing that
you
this
could be in
Tank
Texas.
fight,
It's a different crowd. When Brooklyn come out, it's crazy, especially for Javante Davis. It's a special crowd. I never see these people. I never see these kind of
That's
people.
why I like Vegas.
I'm telling you.
Vegas is a little more, is better security.
Yeah.
The Barclays, everybody know everybody. You getting it?
You know what I mean?
Everybody's getting it.
There was a
Last time, what happened?
when Tank fought Rolly, was that Rolly?
Yeah, I think
at
so.
the Barclays,
I
there
think
was
so.
a melee.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it got crazy. I'm
It
not
was
blaming that
it
on
was a
Tank, though. I
stampede.
don't wanna blame it
No,
on
it wasn't.
Baltimore.
But I'm just saying, it was somebody had a gun out. It was a stampede. Dudes just running, jumping,
But
falling
wait.
downstairs, whatever.
But let's not throw Tank under the bus like that. We've been to his fights in
I'm saying
Atlanta,
it got nothing
and
to
it
do
was
with Tank.
fine. There was no issues.
It's Brooklyn. It's
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
DC,
Everybody knows somebody.
I was at the Barclays one night. It was the Brona Vargas fight.
Yeah.
Gunshot went off that night. Barclays.
Yeah.
That was like in 2018, I think.
Something like that. Yeah, I seen somebody run.
Wasn't
with a
that
gun
like the
from
supposed
basket.
6ix9ine and Casanova?
Yeah,
Around that time,
exactly.
around that time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So who do you, let's break down this fight. Or do you want to bring him in now?
No, I want to ask them two more questions about another fight. Do y'all think Bakole threw the fight against Paul?
No.
That's what a lot of people are saying.
No. First off,
They
you're
saying
coming
that?
off the couch, right? You know, Turkey Al Sheikh, His Excellency, is offering you a bag of money. You need to save this card. Dubois is sick. We cannot cancel the Joseph Parker fight. So you know he got offered a bag of money. He's not training. He's not expecting to fight really. So in this sport, even if you're a heavyweight, you need to have some sort of training camp to be competitive. Joseph Parker was training for 8 weeks for this fight. So there's no way in hell that guy's going to throw a fight. He just got knocked out.
It sounds crazy to me, but I could kind of see them saying that because I saw a video of
What sounds crazy?
throwing the fight. But Bakole going to him and hugging him, Joseph Parker afterwards saying, "You my brother." So it kind of looked friendly, but I still think he got enough integrity not to throw the fight.
Because I guess everybody was saying the punch that landed, that knocked him out, it just looked like it grazed him.
People never got hit in the temple
By
before.
somebody that's
People never got hit up
270
here. Your
pounds.
brain starts shaking. You lose your equilibrium. You might not feel pain. You're not going to feel pain. you know, but you're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
And that's all it was.
Especially if you're 300 plus pounds, like you said, just getting off the couch, you didn't have no training. That's what I thought. It looked like a hammer punch to the top of the head. And maybe his corner overreacted a little bit and was just like throwing the towel quick.
He was dancing. I mean, he was done. I mean, you get hit on the top of the head that hard, it's dangerous.
Yeah, I don't think an African can act that good. not in that moment. Is what I'm saying.
You're right, though.
God,
That's too good.
In that moment, you know what I mean?
Even though I agree, I wouldn't have said that.
But okay, another one. Do we think Tank is ducking Shakur Stevenson?
Me personally, no. I don't think Tank is necessarily scared to fight anybody. He's a true fighter. But Tank has become this person that, you know, I guess is influenced from Floyd, where he doesn't have to do anything he doesn't want to do. He doesn't care about, like, pleasing a fan, so to speak. It's about money, his legacy, and I respect that, you know, because when it's all said and done, the fans, they're not going to take care of you, right? So he's worrying about securing the biggest bags. But right now, because Turkey Al-Sheikh is involved in Shakur Stevenson's career, that big bag of money will be offered to Tank to fight Shakur. So I think after, like, this year, there won't be any more excuses on why he's not fighting Shakur, because the money will be outrageous.
Beautiful, because the word duck is a loaded word. It implies fear. You know, when we use it in the boxing world, it's like, yo, you scared. So definitely Tank ain't scared of nobody. He puts people to sleep.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But there has to be a reason why. We do know that he's in charge of his career, so if he's not fighting, it's not nobody else's reason.
And that's one of the best matchups in all of boxing. I mean, Shakur looked phenomenal. I don't care what people saying that it took him 9 rounds to knock this guy out of there. They were complaining that Shakur never stops anybody.
That's right.
He stopped somebody. What else do you want from this kid?
Now you got to stop him earlier. Now you got to stop him in the first round.
Yeah, like
to make
it's
me
crazy.
happy.
But that's the best fight in boxing.
Who's the face of boxing now?
If there is a face, man. I mean,
Like
Nah, stop fronting. Canelo Alvarez is the face of boxing. Stop it.
Yes, Canelo, but Tank is very popular. One of the faces.
All right, but who's the face of basketball right now?
LeBron James.
But there's many faces.
Right. But the face,
but he
the
named
face
one person.
is LeBron.
But he named one person. That's it. So it's Canelo Alvarez,
I would
who
agree
is a
with
star everywhere around the world. Right. Tank is very, very popular, but Canelo's the star.
Yeah, and don't forget about Bud. Even though he's low-key, the casual fans after the Spence fight, they know who he is. He's one of the faces of boxing as well.
Do you think, a lot of people have been questioning Tank's resume. And they was like, yo, you talking about quitting, but you don't have no Hall of Famers on your resume. Like, your resume is weak. What you think about that?
He doesn't care about that, obviously. I mean, even though Tank hasn't fought those elite fights that we want him to see him in, we still got him on a pound-for-pound list. He's still one of the best fighters in the sport. So I think nobody's questioning his skill level, but when it's all said and done, I think there'll be some question marks there. Like, if he doesn't fight the Shakurs or the Tiafimos of the world, there might be, but I don't think he cares.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, even if you have losses, but you fought the best, then your legacy is stamped forever. You know what I mean? So Muhammad Ali got multiple losses. Pacquiao got multiple losses, and they're still one of the best of all time. So it's not even about beating everybody, making money. It's about fighting the best. You know,
who wins the Shakur Tank fight?
That's a 50-50 fight if you ask me. I think it could go either way. I think Tank got the power to put everybody to sleep, but if you look at it, Shakur has the best boxing, probably rather defense of all times. You know what I'm saying? He's not. I mean, he don't get hit.
Yeah, his distance.
He literally don't get hit. It might not be as pretty as Pernell Whitaker because that's my favorite. You know what I mean? But
even Floyd is phenomenal.
But his
fighter.
Defense is crazy.
But it is because he takes a little less risk. Floyd took more risk in that ring, especially young. You know, when he was young in his career. But I love that fight. I want to make a prediction. I want to say that Shakur can outbox Tank. You know what I'm saying? And
I think he can outbox Tank, but boy, when Tank get to him.
Yeah. You know what? I'll say it right now on record. If that fight ever happens, I think Tank doesn't get to him in that fight. After 12 rounds, Shakur wins more rounds.
That could easily happen. Yeah. I can't say easily, but that could
not
happen because Shakur is very brilliant in there.
Scary fight.
But Tank is not a brawler. Tank sets you up.
I mean,
it's just the best fight that could happen. Skill-wise, that's the best fight that could happen.
But he loses so many rounds setting you up, though.
If he wants to. No, not necessarily if he wants to. So he did that with Leo Santa Cruz because he couldn't hurt him.
Right.
He ain't do that with Rolly. He ain't let Rolly hit him. He ain't lose rounds with Rolly.
But he might feel that Shakur can't hurt him either, but that doesn't mean he won't lose a bunch of rounds. And then next thing you know, it's the 12th round and it's too late. So we don't. I mean, that fight is the best, and Canelo and Bud, Two best matchups in boxing.
Who
But
wins
what if
Canelo?
he-
Oh, go.
What if Tank does fight all these people y'all
Right.
want to see him fight,
Yeah.
and he loses? Does that affect his legacy?
It depends on how he loses.
No, 100%. You know why? Because if they're already complaining that he didn't fight the best,
That's true.
and then you take a loss when you fight
That's
the
true.
best, then they're gonna say you never had it. Even though
That's
I
a
think
good
he
point.
does,
Yeah, he
they're
has
gonna
it.
say that you never really had it, and that's the sad part.
Yeah, that's true.
Who wins Canelo Bud? 168.
Bud been to my house. Canelo, like I've been to Canelo's house, bro. Like
It's
you asked
hard.
me that,
It's
like,
hard, yeah.
all right, this is over. I gotta go.
No, and honestly, love both those guys. Probably close to Bud. You know, he's more of a personal friend. I just think that people are keep putting too much emphasis in the weight. Bud is just as big as Canelo. His arms are longer. He's strong as an ox. The dude put me in a chokehold. He's so strong. This fight is not gonna go.
You're
the
not
way
strong
most people,
though, so that didn't make him sound
Whatever.
strong. That didn't make him sound. That didn't make him
Yeah,
sound strong.
So I think that it's a
He put
very.
me in a choke.
It's me. You never put me in a chokehold.
But did I tap Bud out?
Yeah, you did.
Stop.
Anyway,
Stop.
how you
I'm
get
a
yourself
beast.
into this
I'm a
conversation,
beast.
bro? Anyway,
So y'all just be wrestling, just
It's a-
aggressive. Just
No, Bud
No,
is a
Bud
beast.
always
Bud
wants
is
to
a
fight. He
monster.
wants to-
He's a monster.
so I don't know. I can't tell you, but
What's
it's
up,
gonna be a
brother?
good fight.
Roach.
Now we have Lamont Roach Jr.
Yo.
coming in.
Was good.
What's up, brother? Come on, man.
that is a good fight. I can't. It's hard.
that's a
You can't.
good
It's hard to bet against Bud, man.
Yeah,
But
So hard.
but we see what Canelo can do. I just don't want to personally say I think Bud will lose.
Right.
Because I said that for years with
Yes.
Earl Spence.
Yes.
And he showed you.
Oh my
I
God.
definitely showed him. Then
Bud
knows
sat
how
in
to
his
win.
chair. The next time he came up here, like move me out the chair.
I saw that.
You know what
I saw
Charlamagne
that.
did? He sat over here.
So you're picking Bud in that fight?
No, I'm not picking nobody. I'm just gonna watch it and enjoy it. I'm just gonna enjoy it for what it is.
Well, we have Lamont Roach Jr. here. He's fighting this weekend. Welcome, brother. How you feeling, man?
Appreciate it, man. I feel good, man.
How's your
Feel
training
good.
been so far?
It's been perfect. It's been excellent, honestly.
Grew up in Maryland,
Yeah, I grew up in D.C. and Maryland.
D.C. and Maryland, and you know, for
Oh, so
people-
this is a Baltimore,
That's what I'm
DC
saying.
thing.
It's a
This
Baltimore
thing.
DMV
I'm from
fight.
I'm from Washington D.C. Like that's my hometown. That's where I grew up, and you know, I grew up in Prince George's County, Maryland too. But I'm from D.C.
Oh, you fighting for the whole city then?
Yeah, for
you
sure.
got to try to beat Tank.
for sure.
Is it like a real Baltimore DC thing?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like we don't.
100%.
I'm from Baltimore. You know, you from DC, but I like.
Oh, so you don't
I'm a
rock
cou-
with 'em?
No. I sell tickets. I sell tickets about. I love DC. They buy my tickets all the time. But the whole trajectory of the Baltimore versus DC thing, that's always going to be a thing. or
Yeah,
whatever,
always,
so.
no matter what. Like,
Did
it's
you always
not
wanna
just
fight?
sports, huh?
Did you always want to fight Tank?
Yeah, I mean, just competition wise, we grew up in the same, you know what I'm saying, the same amateur boxing realm. We technically, to the whole world, we down the street from each other. And in boxing, we close. So, like, Baltimore fight in the DC Golden Gloves. Baltimore fight in the, you know, the regionals at the Silver Gloves and stuff like that. So we always competing with each other.
Their accent is uglier than ours, ain't it?
No way.
Yeah, it is,
no.
boy.
It sounds the same to me. to be honest with you.
No, say two.
know.
Say two.
Dude.
See, it's way different.
But look how they say
Yeah.
I'm going back and all that. Like they so different. Yo. They so different. They country, yo.
Tank said something about it. You ain't from Maryland. Like, why was that
Because I'm
like
not
a
from
shot?
Maryland. I'm from DC.
Yeah, DC is not in Maryland.
No,
That's
I
like a
get
little
that,
village.
but you said you from DC and Maryland though, and you said you
Yeah, I
spent
mean,
time in
I
Maryland.
lived in I lived in both. So like,
You grew
if
up in Crown
people-
Heights, right?
If what the hell you talking about? I grew up in Crown Heights.
And
What
Brooklyn,
is that?
that's
That's
Brooklyn.
Oh, I thought they said Crown Heights, Maryland. I don't know.
Nah, hell no. I'm from Lejoy
Oh, that's
Park.
what they put on the paper.
there's a
I
Crown
don't
Heights.
know.
Somebody messed up.
I'm from DC. I'm from Lejoy Park. I'm from Uptown. I'm from Lejoy Park. So that's like the Shaw Howard area for people who don't know. And but my parents, my mother and father moved to Prince George's County. If people don't know, like the line is like right here, like DC Prince George's County, DC Prince George's County. So it's like right there. It's like I don't know how close boroughs are, but it be some people that be on the line. Or
Yeah, that's true.
You can
It's
literally
just
walk
like-
across the
just
street
like
and be
you-
in Maryland.
East New York and Queens.
Or like how
Yeah,
some
Queens,
people be
Brooklyn,
like, some people
Bronx,
be
and
like,
Harlem.
I'm from New York, but they be from Jersey.
Right.
Or something like that. You know
Yeah,
what
like
I'm
this
saying?
guy right here.
So so this ain't far enough away from me, right? Because DC and Baltimore can drive to this fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yes.
I prefer Vegas. Where niggas gotta fly. Anybody could get in the car and
Talk
drive
about
to
the
this.
drama that can occur.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
think.
why the fight not happening in DC. Of course.
Yeah, but that
I
ain't
mean,
a far
I think-
drive. It's only 3 hours.
Yeah, it ain't. But I'm saying from our
That's more
from
pressure
our
on you.
respective like cities for sure.
Does it really matter though if you're having a fight in D.C.? I mean, Maryland, Baltimore, right there. Everybody can come from Baltimore.
Yeah.
I think so too. But I think more so is probably strategic because he didn't want. I mean, Tank a superstar, so every time he going into a fight, the crowd is going to be pro him.
Yeah.
If the fight is in D.C., the crowd going to be damn near pro me or 50-50.
So, I see what you're saying. So since you grew up in the same amateur time period, were you ever friends?
Yeah, I mean, I've known him since I was like 10, so we always seen each other. Like, he always made it to the Nationals, I always made it to the Nationals, so we was always, like, in those tournaments, we'd see each other all the time.
Have y'all fought before?
We fought twice.
Who won?
And we sparred a lot.
Who won when y'all sparred? When y'all fought?
When we fought, he won both times. The first time we fought in Baltimore, that was BS. He shouldn't have won that. But
How old were you? First time you
15.
fought him? 15.
15. So
What kind of win was it?
it was a split decision win in Baltimore, 3-2. But it's like some BS happened. My dad sent the tape to USA Boxing, and they was like, "Nah, that shouldn't have happened."
So you felt like you won that fight?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, USA Boxing sent me an at-large bid to the Nationals. So it's like we fought in the regionals, and he was the regional champ. But when they seen the video, they was like, "All right, we'll send you an at-large bid," and they put us on two sides of the bracket. He made it to the championship. I made it to the championship, and he won a close fight in the championship, 1-2 in the nation though.
Since you fought him and sparred him, is he the hardest puncher you shared the ring with?
Nah.
No.
I mean, that's when
Y'all was kids then now.
No, but we was
Right.
kids.
Yeah, but did you spar, a little older? Or sparring was just during that time?
Sparring was like before we even fought. Like the last time we was in the ring together is when we fought.
Okay.
I was
before
15.
he became the Reaper.
Yeah.
Okay.
But back then, I was considered a bigger puncher than him. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was the amateurs.
What about now? How do you feel like you're a bigger puncher than him now?
I feel like I'm a bigger puncher than Mike Tyson.
That's right.
But
Akin Barak, what do you think of this?
No. That's an analogy. That's not true.
I mean, like,
Think that.
Not Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
No, you should be that confident. You should be that confident.
Like you say, he goes
No, what's we supposed to say? Like, nah, I don't really punch that.
He asked the question. I ain't mad at him. He asked him his confidence. He asked me a question.
Set it up.
There's only one way to figure it out. Just hit Charlamagne one good time.
I'm hitting the flow. I'm hitting my show.
I do know he don't get the credit
You
he
gonna get his
deserves as
whole
being
purse.
a puncher.
Oh, yeah,
But look,
yeah.
obviously you're the underdog because you got a loss already. You lost to Jamel Herring, who got beat by Shakur. So how are you a better fighter than that time period?
I'm 1,000 times better fighter than that time period. And if anybody know, and the people you guys know, that fight
But
took
you
it
gotta
out
tell-
of
you
him,
gotta tell
for
them.
sure.
Yeah.
That fight took it out of Jamel for sure. I mean, no disrespect to him, and no disrespect to Shakur's win over him either. But ever since then, it's just been a different Jamel, like downhill, and he was just over the hump. He was over the hill after that fight.
And that was in 2019, right?
Yeah, that was in 2019. Right now, like, I took from that fight was, they're not gonna give you nothing. I started a little late on that fight. If I would have started earlier, I probably would have knocked him out like we planned on doing. We never planned on winning on the scorecards in that entire camp.
No.
Yeah.
That entire camp. It was stacked against us. Top ranked card. He was the champ. It was Veterans Day weekend. They had a story on him and, his tragedies and stuff like that. But just, it was built for the, for
Dude
the champ
served the
to-
country.
Yeah, you know what
How
I'm
can you
saying?
not
It's
root
built
for that guy? I feel you.
So, you know what I'm saying? So we knew we wasn't going to get nothing on paper, but, I just started a little late.
So what about this fight? Tank is being said, like they was asking who's the face of boxing, and Tank is one of those faces.
He's one of them, yeah.
So are you going in that game? You going in this with the game plan that I gotta knock him out in order to get the victory?
Nah, not necessarily, but I'm trying to. I'm trying to. I mean, I be trying to knock anybody out. For real, I'm trying to get shit cracking for real.
Envy mentioned about there's a stigma with Tank about him not fighting elite fighters, right?
Right.
Do you agree with that? Do you feel Tank is overrated, or does he get the credit he deserves?
And that's insulting, right? For you.
It would be. That damn sure. That's what I was gonna start
Right,
with.
yeah.
That'd be insulting. But nah, I don't agree.
So you think his
people
resume is good? Solid.
I think his resume is solid. Yeah, for sure. I think people don't understand that the business get in the way of a lot of stuff.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, because some people do use the business aspect to duck fights. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
But 9 times out of 10, it do be stuff that just don't line up. It be a whole rack of stuff that don't line up. And I wouldn't necessarily say he ducking a fight. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? We men.
Yeah. I wouldn't see Tank ducking anybody, but to your point, the financial always gets in the way.
Get in the way. Some people feel, I mean, you can't argue a guy with what you feel like he deserves, or especially if he earned it, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, or if he want to fight on his terms, and that's just how this shit works.
So what do you do? Let's say you win the fight come Saturday night. What do you do? Do you stay? Because it's a different weight class. You already a champion at 130. You coming up to 135 fighting a champion there. Do you stay in that weight class or you go back down?
I'm going to do both. I'm gonna try to do both. I'm like I talked to the WBA already, and like hopefully.
But you can eat Twinkies now. You good? Like you at
I
135,
lie.
you good? Like,
If he
why
wins,
go back
if
down?
he wins, he's fighting Tank again. Obviously, there's a rematch
obviously.
clause in the
There's a rematch
contract.
clause. Yeah, no,
Right, you got it.
definitely.
You got it,
So
you got it.
I mean, I have no choice but to stay at 35. But I did ask them to, you know, if I can, let me do my obligations to keep my belt at 30, just in case the business don't line up at 35. Right. People might be busy. All the champs might be busy. They might be fighting somebody. Let's pray they don't. But if they do, I can go unify at 30.
Let me ask you a question. When the Tank opportunity came up, right, monetarily, right, when you got the offer, did you negotiate? Did your team negotiate? Now we want a little more for Tank, or did you say yes right away to the opportunity?
I said yes to the opportunity, but our negotiation was more so what we had on our plate. We had some paper on the plate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's just like the upside is greater than the fight that I would have took for about the same amount of money or a little more. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
this is not your biggest payday?
no, this is gonna be my biggest payday for sure.
Gotcha.
But I'm saying what we had on the table,
But
was
fighting somebody else outside
fighting
of Tank.
somebody else.
Right. Who was that person?
My mandatory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was the mandatory?
A guy from what's his name?
You don't even know his name.
So you
But he got to fight him to
Olympic
keep
gold
the belt.
medalist,
He
though.
got to
Hold
fight
on,
him.
but
yeah.
you was gonna get the same amount of money fighting Tank as your mandatory.
I lie to you not.
So you getting a piece of the pay-per-view numbers.
Who said that?
So
It don't matter.
Oh, you mean because of the
If he beat
opportunity?
Tank, the opportunity.
I got you.
Yeah, but
Great.
the upside is the
Tremendous.
No
upside
doubt.
is
It's a big
definitely-
opportunity. It's worth it.
And
What did you learn from your loss against Jamal Herring that you would take into this fight? Like how did a loss make you a better fighter?
it just made me realize that obviously I wasn't doing everything I needed to do to be a complete champion. You gotta think I just turned 24. I'm looking at myself already as world champ, on top of the world, being ready to be this big money guy or whatever the case may be. But it made me buckle down. It humbled me and made me sit down and really do my work and really be a student of the game, adapt everything. And again, that they ain't gonna get nothing to you. You gotta go take it. And that's what I adapted. That's when I changed that's when I made my nickname, the Reaper, officially, and I took on that moniker as I can't take no for an answer no more.
You know, I thought about that too because I saw Gervonta's trainer say that Tank's biggest fear is losing, and I wonder if it's too much pressure to keep up a undefeated record. And where did that mentality come from? Was it Floyd? Like,
Yes,
100%.
definitely Floyd.
Okay.
100%.
Definitely Floyd.
Yeah.
Now, when you train, right? Like, is it a part of your process to like study the other fighter? Like you study. Okay, so what would you say is Tank's biggest weakness?
Ooh, we gonna see. We gonna
Oh,
see.
you can't say.
I can't
tell
say.
you.
I can't tell you right now because he might see this. But
Okay.
we got a few. And the things that he does well is important too.
Well, you know what you could do? You could tell us offline, and then when you win,
Hey,
we'll say, "Oh yeah, he told us."
he told us that.
So
Yeah,
we'll make it
for
official.
sure.
Well, let's ask Arce and Barak. I mean, what do you think Tank's weakness is, and what do you think Roach's weakness is?
I'm
You
not
guys
gonna,
analyze boxing.
well, I'm not going to talk about his weaknesses right in front of him. Right?
I think
Wait
that's the
till
best
he
time
leaves
to
to
talk
talk
about
behind his back. This guy.
Talk behind his back.
But listen, I would, as far as Tank, I mean, I would say Charlotte pointed to it earlier where he starts late, right? He loses rounds early in the fight because he's relying on that, one-hitter quitter,
That'd
which
be the
Deontay
dumbest.
did as well a lot. So I think that Tank has a skill to start earlier. I mean, I would say that was one of the things that I feel like that he
I'm gonna
should
tell all the Tank fans now, he better not start late with me. It's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be a real long night.
I don't really think Tank has weaknesses. I seen him get frustrated back in 2017,
Right.
and that's a weakness. But I haven't seen that.
Fonseca?
I think so. Fonseca, it was. See that?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but since then I haven't seen that.
But all
So I
fighters
wouldn't
get
say he
frustrated
has
at some point in a fight.
And I could
most
tell you
fighters.
he had weaknesses when I seen him fight Jamel Herring, but I don't see that now.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So I seen them both.
So
grow.
what weaknesses? Because you saying what weaknesses
They
he
both
had?
did the same thing about starting late.
Okay.
They both did the same thing about starting late, and then he wasn't being first.
So he playing
You
it
know what I'm
safe
saying?
too. You don't
No,
want
I'm
to say
telling him. I'm telling him. I'm not a chump. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't mean. I'm not calling him
No,
a chump.
no,
I'm just
I know.
saying that.
Yo, y'all show gonna be so entertaining.
You ain't never listened to that
I'm not a chump.
I'm not calling him a chump. They've been working together for a long time.
This is amazing.
You wasn't trying to be first when you should have been first. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all. Don't wait the counter or whatever you think you slicker than
most
him
definitely.
and all of that. You wasn't trying to be first, but I see you different now.
You
That's
want to
all I'm
work
saying.
his corner, something in the fight?
I'm saying how much you getting paid?
But I also do notice that, you know, and I'm a casual boxer, right? So I like boxing. when I
Casual
like
boxing.
Oh, he
fan.
boxes.
Casual
Boxes.
boxing.
He
Exactly.
boxes casually.
Exactly. You envy.
box casually.
Casually,
It would
boxing
be like, yeah, I
fan.
sparred Tank back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
But
Knocked
you
him out.
becoming more of a fight fan now. like-
Yeah. But so
Yeah,
I see with
yeah,
this
yeah.
fight, you guys haven't got too disrespectful with each other.
Right.
Usually, I see disrespect out the window is F your mother, your kids, all that. I haven't seen that with this one. Why is that?
He cool.
See, Javante play too damn much though. Like he,
do.
No, but see, that's one thing. Like he a
he
troll though.
Yeah,
Like,
he
and,
troll.
and I troll back. That's the thing. Like, and
See, I troll back.
Yeah, I troll back. So like, I never fought anyone that's in obviously of his like stature and as stardom, but we follow each other. Like we see, like, you know what I'm saying? We see each other shit. I already know he a troll, so I know what to expect. Some people know that I am a troll and I can be funny on the socials for sure, and I'm going to have a comeback for whatever you got. So that's the thing. Like, it's a little different because we fighting each other now. So like, imagine me. I see everything that he do to troll everybody else, and the other thing is they be having like. He definitely be having personal vendettas with other people, or people be having personal vendettas with him. Like they really be having like issues.
Yeah, I
There's
saw
no
Bud
bet.
say he don't like him. Bud was like, I don't,
You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
like him as a person.
he said has said disrespectful things about Bud.
Oh, he did. I forgot.
but he
Shit. No,
Tank,
you're right.
Tank,
Right.
he-
About his
he's-
woman and
He a
everything,
wild
right?
card. I mean, what you
Yeah.
expect? I mean, that's who he is. He a wild card. Like, and if obviously if he don't fuck with you, he don't fuck with you.
Disrespectful ass Baltimore
Yeah.
person.
What's the
Them
most
niggas be
disrespectful?
disrespectful, men and women, don't
Nah,
they?
he
Don't
be
be a clown
disrespectful.
about you, Jess.
And-
Don't
and-
be a
No,
fucking
it's
clown
true.
about you.
Tank gets super disrespectful on Twitter.
Yeah.
He be going in, but yeah, you're right, Envy. There hasn't been too much disrespect. I mean, what's the most disrespectful thing a fighter's ever said to you?
Fuck if I know.
So
They
you
be
don't-
because they don't be. I don't get that, and they don't get that to me. They better not.
Right.
I don't really play like that for real.
So Tank scared of your trollness? If you
Nah,
control better?
Nah, I just think it's just like a level of mutual respect. Like, for real. All right, if you want to keep it a buck, outside of this, if we ain't fight, he the homie.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's not like we ain't ever talked about fighting before. We talked about fighting
Really?
before.
Did y'all ever chill though? Like go out? Like,
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I've seen him as we've been professional. I seen him more times outside than I seen him in a boxing environment.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying?
So y'all cool.
Like he cool.
I saw him label you. He said that you and Bud would be actual challenges. He said like Haney, I think he said Stevenson.
Oh yeah, I seen that too.
And Davis would be light work, but he actually said you and Bud would be challenges. What you think of that when you heard it?
He
I didn't
telling
see
the
that.
truth when it come to me.
Mhm.
He telling the truth.
Oh, well, not when it come to Bud?
Huh?
Not when it come to
Oh,
Bud?
man, shit, yeah, I think he's telling the truth too. I mean, obviously he's big and he's one of the best fighters in the world.
Right.
But yeah, when it specifically when it come to me, yeah, like, and I think people trying to say, oh, he lying to sell a fight or whatever the case may be. Nah, like this
This
the
a
real
real fight,
deal
man.
over here.
So what do you say to Tank fans like Jess, like that don't believe in you, that don't think you're gonna win, that think you might get knocked out?
I think you got an accent.
You know, so what do you say to those type of fans like Jess? Like, look at Jess right now, and what
Nah,
do you say
see,
to Jess
cause I
Hilarious?
cause I would get a little like, cause people get behind them keyboards, they get a little disrespectful.
That's just you behind the keyboard.
That is, Roach, I ain't never said nothing about you. I ain't never said nothing about you.
Last week you did say squash that Roach. You said Baltimore gonna squash that Roach.
Don't even say
You did say that last week.
We don't even talk like
You said
that.
something like that.
She said something about raid. She said something about raid. I don't know.
See?
But no, this the thing. I said I didn't know you. I didn't know who you was until you and
Tank.
Until Tank. You know what I mean? That's all I said. And I said, yeah, he gonna beat you. Just cause that's my man. Like,
That ain't disrespectful.
Yeah,
That's normally how it go though.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people gonna be like, I don't know who he is, so he gonna do.
Yeah.
He gonna get knocked out. He gonna do this. He gonna be sleep. He need to get a pillow. Oh, I see that shit. Obviously, I see that shit. It's my phone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's just like, I don't know shit about boxing.
I don't. Sorry.
That ain't true. I been seeing your breakdowns when the fight be on.
It's a little bit.
Unless you be asking ChatGPT, she be breaking down whole rounds. I'm like, what the?
Yeah. But listen, with you being, all right, so do you ever feel, with this being said, since we on it, when people, like the underdog conversation, like, does that affect you? Does that really piss you off? Because you stepped right up to fight him. I mean, it wasn't like he had to troll you to get him to fight.
Yeah, nah, for sure. But that's what I'm in it for. I'm here to fight the best. I want to be the best. That's what really drives my whole career, for real, for real. Like, I got in this to be the best. So if he's a pound for pound talent, what they gonna think about me when I win? You know
So
what
if
I'm
you
saying?
do beat Tank and then fight a rematch and beat him again, obviously you want to fight the other champs at 135, right? Let's say that scenario happens and Shakur should be on your, one of your targets,
he's on
right?
my radar.
Who do you think is a harder fight, Tank or Shakur, for yourself, stylistically?
That's
Told y'all 50-50 fight. See?
that's a good question. Shakur, a bad boy, man. I mean, I've been in the ring with him more than recently. Shakur, bad boy.
He don't get the credit he deserves, you ask me.
I mean, everybody. I mean, it's just from the outside looking in, and then they comparing him to a knockout artist. That's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's just not fair. I don't know.
Shakur. It seems like you're leaning towards Shakur being the more difficult fight.
Maybe.
Damn.
I want to ask you about that, right? When you dealing with a knockout artist like Tank, and Tank said he
Maybe
gonna,
not.
Oh.
Maybe not. Okay.
I don't know.
You got to sell the fight.
Yeah, no. It's not that I don't got to sell the fight. It's just being realistic. Like, you gotta compare
Tank
the
is a dangerous
tangibles.
opponent.
You gotta compare the tangibles. Obviously, you got a 90-some% knockout ratio.
So you got to be alert at all times throughout that entire
that's
A
fight.
what I
lot of
wanna
people
know,
don't
yeah.
give him this credit of him being a skillful fighter. He's really
Super
really
skilled.
got a bag with him. Like, and y'all gonna see it March 1st because he ain't gonna have no choice but to use it.
No, I think Tank is he's just as skilled at, like the credit he gets for a knockout, he's just that skilled,
He's
like
just
skill-wise.
as skilled, and people don't
just
know
as skilled,
that.
yeah.
People don't know that. Like,
When you got a knockout artist coming at you, and he said he want to knock you out between 6 and 8 rounds.
he's silly as shit.
What?
I'll tell you that right now.
I'll tell you what's
But is there any level of fear to that at all?
No, what I just say? Silly.
Damn.
But listen, as far as betting, right? Yesterday we were looking at odds, and in order for you to win $100, you got to bet 400 that Tank knocks you out. So I never seen odds like that. Like, you got to bet so much to win so little. So
Damn, that's
essentially
disrespectful.
it's saying
It
you are
is.
definitely getting knocked out. That's what the odd makers are saying. It's crazy.
So if you bet 40
Did y'all
on
see the
Lamont,
odds? Did y'all see the odds for the Hector fight?
No.
Oh, no. It was bigger, though. It was bigger than that.
Yeah.
It was bigger than that.
So obviously, we cleaned up that
Right.
night.
Right.
It's gonna be a repeat. I'm telling you right now.
People
Call
gonna
them-
make some money?
Oh my God.
you
fam.
bet on yourself?
Yes. Of course.
Is that illegal? I don't know.
No.
He's just joking if that's illegal.
I'm not gonna lie, you do have a level of confidence that make me feel like, let me put a couple dollars. There's two colors. You gotta know something. You gotta
I love it
confidence.
though.
Like,
I'm like,
100%.
damn.
100%. I told him in the green room, like, I've seen some of Tank's opponents, even though they talk smack, be a little
They be shook.
shaky,
They
a
be a
little
little shook.
shaky. Not him.
He
Yeah,
real
he don't look
calm.
shook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comfortable.
Uh-oh, be more. What?
No, I'm just saying he's real
man.
calm, yo. That's
Okay.
what's
You
up.
got me wanting to put a couple dollars.
do you try to I mean, of course you're going to engage, but do you rely on your defense more and try to outbox Tank, or do you go in there and mix it up?
It's gonna be mixed up for sure. It's gonna be mixed up. We're gonna apply pressure. We're gonna be smart. We're gonna be defensive. We're gonna do everything. We're gonna make him perform at his best. We're gonna make him perform at his best. We're gonna make him think. We're gonna make him feel pressure. We're gonna make him feel like, all right, now I gotta get out the way of this shit. Cause I ain't gonna lie, when I tell you I really be trying to knock everybody out, it's not just like me going crazy, but if I can, I'm gonna try.
Yeah, you be trying to set it up.
I like to hear that too, because I ain't gonna lie, Tank my man. But I got tired of paying money for the fights and it's over too fast. Like one year I paid for the fight and by the time I got in there, it was the one in Atlanta. By the time I got in there, it was over. So I was pissed. So you better make them work for it.
Hey,
okay.
it's gonna be real worth your money.
One of the criticisms is that, you're a champ at a lower weight class. So they say, oh, Tank picking on somebody smaller. But fight night, do you think you're gonna be the bigger man in the ring?
I mean, yeah, I am. I mean, if people know him and people see me, or even if people know me and people know him, they know that he a little guy. Like, he fight at the weight class because he's comfortable and he doesn't have to
struggle to make weight.
Yeah. You be killing yourself to make it.
No, I don't be killing myself to make
okay.
it.
But you just naturally
But it's definitely like it requires more discipline for me to, especially to make 130.
Right.
What do y'all think Tank's most difficult fight has been so far? Cruz, right? Definitely, right?
I would say so.
I would say that Fonseca
has
fight.
Has to be
Fonseca.
I don't remember the Fonseca fight.
I mean,
he was so frustrated.
But he wasn't on top
awkward.
of his game early. He wasn't on top of his
Who's
game.
to say he on top of his game right now?
No, I just mean in that fight, I think he was just playing around too much and just trying to get a spectacle and not really thinking like he
Pitbull
was.
was his toughest fight, but he did have a hand injury, and after certain,
it was pretty late in the fight though.
It was like the 10th round.
It was the 10th round.
Yeah.
People say earlier, but it was the 10th round, so it was just
like
a
the
tough
10th
fight because it was a tough fight.
Pitbull was a tough opponent.
When you studying Lamont, which fights do you watch? Do you watch the ones that were tough for him, or do you just watch them all?
Both.
Okay.
I watched the ones that are tough. I mean, I watched the ones that you see that he obviously because he knocked out damn near everybody, but you take away certain stuff from a lot of things, like from the Frank Martin fight. Even though I think that fight was fairly easy, it's just little stuff like tendencies that he have. It's like stuff you pick up on, like, oh, he always does this when he does this. Now you can't rely on it because it's what he used to do.
But
Like,
you can read it.
But you could read certain stuff, especially like little second nature things, like little twitches, like how he reacts to a certain punch or how he moves after he does a combination or whatever the case may be, just naturally, like how many times he does it and stuff like that.
Now he's spilling the beans. He
A little bit.
talk about his weaknesses.
A little bit. So that's you studying these tapes, or is that your
Me and
your
the
coach?
mastermind back there.
So both of y'all be
Yeah.
studying it. Okay,
Uh-huh.
I got it. So this is the biggest fight of your life.
For sure.
How do you think it defined your career?
Win
Win or lose?
I always say that this is because I'm a win, but this the start of my legacy run. You know how fighters who gonna be in the Hall of Fame have that distinctive start of their run.
Right.
This gonna be it. This gonna be it. This gonna be, especially because he talking about retiring and all that. I think it's gonna be hard for him to get back in the ring if he lose. Honestly, because he already talking about retirement. So if we do have 2 fights, that's damn sure gonna be my legacy run, because we have two fights where you got this knockout artist that's a pound for pound talent that people are saying is one of the and not saying who is one of the biggest spectacles in boxing right now. Right. If I beat him twice, then go on to unify, no matter what, win or lose, I'm still fighting the best fights. And I'm always gonna put out. It's always gonna be a dance. Like especially if I got a good dance partner in there with me, it's always gonna be a good fight. So this fight is defining the start of my legacy run, and that's where I want to go off to my Hall of Fame. I want to go up to 40 and fight too. If anybody saw, I called out Rayo before we got the Tank. Offer.
Rayo's the guy that beat Pitbull.
Yeah,
Pitbull is the guy that
boxing
gave
pretty
Javante
easy.
Davis a
So
good
Hall
fight.
of Fame, that's your goal. Like as a fighter, when it's all said and done, you want to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
and you need this fight to get you there.
I'm setting out to be one of the best to ever lace up some gloves.
This
29
Saturday.
years old. Good luck this Saturday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think if you do win, I think you should come up Monday and sit in Jess' chair.
I'm with that. I'm with
It's only
that.
right.
Fine. I give it up.
That's
I
fine.
give it up.
That's
I'm
fine.
with that for sure.
Nah, but we
Yeah.
appreciate you.
What's
for
the fight
stopping
on?
through.
Is it on the zone?
No, it's
Nah,
on
it's on,
Amazon. Prime.
Amazon Prime pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view.
All right. Well,
Pay-per-view.
Barak, we appreciate
Yeah, go
you.
buy
Thank
buy
you.
the pay per view. If I'm gonna tell y'all right now,
Don't steal
buy the pay per view. Buy the pay per view.
She's stealing
Nah, I
it,
used
too.
to.
Buy the pay per view. I'm telling you.
Gotcha.
Wink. Buy the pay per view.
All right. Well, there
And
you go.
Brock, where they can watch y'all show at?
Definitely on All the Smoke Fight YouTube page, and we're gonna be doing a live broadcast for the Tank and Roach weigh-in at the Barclays Center this Friday. So tap in on All the Smoke Fight.
All right. Well, Lamont, Roach Jr., Barak, we appreciate you, brothers.
Man, thank y'all for having
Good
me.
luck. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.